Laser sights can deter threats and aid in quick target identification, enhancing your ability to protect your family, home, and country. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, it's a new outlet for collegiate shooting teams with the USA Clay Target League. Plus, Sig Sauer's new M400 tread rifle and a chance to win one. The importance of a good light for self-defense and emergency situations, and more. And as always, call into 866-TALK-GUN with your comments, questions, and range reports. And now, here's Tom Gresham.
Excuse me, I'm still having seconds from Thanksgiving. Hey, welcome. Tom Gresham here. It's Gun Talk. We're having a ball, having a lot of fun talking about guns and shooting and stuff. Got a Christmas list. We're working on that. I think I should probably publish my Christmas list, the things that I would like, so that everyone can start working on that and sending me. I'll put them on the Amazon list. Glad that you could be here. Hey, if you'd like to join us, it's really easy. 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial Tom Talk Gun. We have a lot of things to talk about. We're going to have some really cool guests, talk about some clay target shooting, some nice new lights. I'm all about carrying a flashlight. I don't go anywhere without a good flashlight in my pocket. And we can talk about that a little bit, about all the times you use it and how many times you use it during the day. It surprises you when you first start doing it. And yeah, I know. Your phone has a light on it. Give me a break. It's not that great. Yeah, hey, in a pinch, it'll work. But it's not that great. Okay. And we have, of course, your range reports and a lot of stories. There's a lot of things going on. And I've been looking at this. And we have cities and we have states that are putting additional requirements on buying guns and ammunition. And when you look at it in totality, it starts to become quite troublesome. Where Detroit just passed a regulation about buying ammunition, limiting how much ammo you can get, and also you have to have a mental health background check to buy ammo. Oh, yeah, they're going to increase the taxes on ammo. And this is where it gets interesting, and this is where you start to see the mindset. When they say they're going to increase the taxes on ammunition, and the idea is they will use that money to go toward helping victims of so-called, quote-unquote, gun violence. Now, what that tells you is that the people who are putting this forward are so uninformed that when they think of guns, when they think of ammunition, when they think of shots being fired, the only thing they can think of is the criminal misuse of firearms. So for them, when guns are fired, people get hurt. For them, that being the case, we should tax ammunition so that we can use the revenue from guns that are fired and people getting hurt to help those who get hurt. The problem with that, the issue with that, is that 99.999999999% of the time when people fire a gun, no one gets hurt. 99.x% of guns will never be used at a crime. People in America fire guns tens of millions of times a day. I know, if you're not a gun person, you're thinking, that can't be right. That's not possible. That doesn't sound right. Okay, well, we're selling billions of rounds of ammunition a year. Billions. We're making something like, 10 million rounds of 22 a day or something. It's an insane number. It boggles the mind. So there are a lot of people shooting a lot of rounds every day. And they're doing it at shooting ranges. Outdoor ranges, indoor ranges, clay target ranges, trap, skeet, sporting clays. Oh, yeah, they use it for hunting as well. They're using it for recreation, shooting tin cans. They're using it in long-range rifle competition. They're using it in three-gun competition. Well, how much could somebody be using? I mean, it's just competition, right? Yeah, except that when you go out and practice, it's really, really, really common to shoot anywhere from 500 to 1,000 rounds when you go out to practice at one practice. Well, that can't be right. Well, I know you don't think it is. I know that your frame of reference is so vacuous that you just don't have any information there. And so your vacuum gets filled. Nature abhors a vacuum. It will fill it. So because you don't know anything about guns, you don't know anything about the lawful, responsible use of guns because you're not hearing about it, that vacuum gets filled. And what does it get filled with? It gets filled with news stories. It gets filled with movie and TV images of people using guns to shoot people. And if you never hear of the recreational use, the safe use, the responsible use, then you think, well, that's all guns are used for. And that's how you arrive at the city council that says if ammunition needs to be taxed, and you really need to have a mental health check before you can buy ammo, and there needs to be a limit on how much ammo a person could buy, thereby we could decrease the amount of crime. Because, if you thought, okay, all ammo is being used in crime, we will cut down on the amount of ammo people can have, and that will cut down on how much ammo is shot in crime. It makes sense in a weird kind of syllogism way. But here's where it falls apart. It's like saying birds have two legs. Bob has two legs. Therefore, Bob is a bird. It doesn't work. If you don't know the other side of it, if you don't know that millions of people fire millions of rounds of ammo every day, safely, responsibly, having fun, family outings, competition, hunting, you just don't know that. And so you say, well, we have to do something about this crime problem. And therein lies our challenge. And this is what I'm going to throw out to you. And this is where I want you to help me out. We have a lot of people in this country who they're working with this vacuum. They're working with this big empty hole in their knowledge base when it comes to guns, because all it gets filled with is reports of crime. Nightly reports on local news, in the papers, online, movies, television shows. Guns equal crime. Guns equal people shooting people. If we could, and I think we can, the question is how, if we can fill that vacuum, replace some of that emptiness with information, with understanding, with realization of good, honest people, your neighbors, your doctor, your lawyer, your mechanic, your children's teachers, all being gun owners and shooting guns safely and responsibly. If we can change that, fill that vacuum with that information, I think it changes public perception to the point where they'll say, well, that's crazy. That's like saying we're going to tax all gasoline and we're going to limit how many gallons of gasoline you can purchase because people with cars cause accidents and kill people. Everybody in the public will go, that makes no sense. Most people who drive don't hurt people. Yes. And we have a corollary for you in the firearms world. So my question is this. I'm just throwing that out. I want to get your response. How do we get this information out to the public? How do we penetrate the public perception about guns and gun owners to get around or overcome this misconception that guns are used primarily in crime? How do we do that? Do we do it one-on-one? Do we do it in an organized fashion? Is it something that the NRA should be doing? Is it something your gun club locally should or could be doing? And if so, how? Looking for that. And also, of course, it is the time of the season. Several things going on. We got hunting season going on. Love to get your, a hunting report is a range report. Love to get that. What you been hunting? How'd you do? Who'd you take out there? And how'd your dog do? 866 Talk Gun. Range reports always appreciated here. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk.
Maximize your firepower and accuracy with Remington's new Model 1911 R1 Limited Double Stack. Up to 19+1 double stack capacity, so you can spend more time shooting and less time loading. Next level accuracy and handling with a 5-inch ramped match-grade barrel and adjustable match-grade trigger for greater precision. Learn more at remington.com/handguns. The new Remington Model 1911 R1 Limited Double Stack. Welcome to a new era at Remington.
Since 1937, Ducks Unlimited has led the charge on wetlands and waterfowl conservation. Wetlands reduce the effects of flooding and recharge our drinking water. But perhaps most importantly, they allow us to experience what makes the outdoors so great. Band together to rescue our wetlands.
Want great deals on guns, ammunition, and gear? Download the free Gundealio app today. With Gundealio, you can search for deals, listen to the Gun Talk podcast, watch gun videos, read gun news, and get notifications right to your phone about deals and special offers. Save money on the products you want from the companies you love. New deals, discounts, and rebates added daily. Gundealio, available for free in the App Store and Google Play.
The Ruger pistol that started it all is now even better. The Ruger Mark IV has the same great look as the Mark III, but now its simple one-button takedown means less time taking apart your gun and more time shooting it. Disassemble it in seconds for no hassle cleaning. Learn more about the Target, Hunter, and 2245 Light Mark IV series models at Ruger.com. The Ruger Mark IV, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
This is Jeff with Black Hills Ammunition. Our new rifle ammunition line, featuring Hornady's extreme low-drag bullet design, is a big step forward in long-distance performance. When you want the ability to shoot way out there with accuracy, flat trajectory, and minimal wind effect, our ELD ammunition is the right choice. The high ballistic coefficients and Black Hills Ammunition carry manufacture gives you the advantage. Black Hills Ammunition, the power of performance.
Back with you, Tom Gresham here. It's Gun Talk, 866 Talk Gun, or just dial Tom Talk Gun. I've already spent money on guns. Good grief, the Black Friday thing. I jumped all over it. Actually, what I did, this will require some range reports, I guess. Back, probably like a lot of folks, before the 2016 election results were in, I bought several AR-15 lowers, stripped lowers. And they're sitting on a shelf. That's one of those, now what? What am I going to do with these things? I don't know. We ought to build something with them. Okay. And so then I go online yesterday and went, ooh, look, uppers. It's like, ooh, shiny things. So I ordered a 300 blackout pistol upper. I'm going to make one of them into a 300 blackout pistol with a shoulder or an arm brace, if you will. Probably go ahead and get it set up and put a can on it. I think that would be just the coolest thing ever. And then, wow, I'm in there and go, oh, look, they got a great deal on ambidextrous charging handles. And since I have a number of ARs and they don't all have ambis, and I shoot from the left shoulder, I'm in. I know, it's nuts. But but I did. So there you go. It's actually a good time. It's an interesting time to be buying stuff. For one thing, the economy is good. A lot of people have a little bit more money. They're certainly going to be paying less in taxes, maybe getting tax money back, depending on how you have it all set up from work. And there are a ton of great deals out there right now. In fact, it's still Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend right now as I speak to you right now. A lot of things online. We've been sending out a gazillion things through the Gun Dealio app. If you don't have it, get it right now. You'll be getting alerts on super deals that are available. Gun Dealio, it's available for both your Android and your iPhone. It's a free app. Very easy. It's ours. Okay. And, of course, we've got our newsletter that goes out. You can sign up for that at guntalk.com. And we have a lot of news about special deals, things that are going on. Basically, just ways of saving money. And also alerts on what's new. Just picked up, let's see. Well, should I tell? Yeah, I guess I can. I needed a 1911, right? So I got one of those. Oh, well, what the heck? It's just all fun stuff, right? All right, as I was talking a little bit about this Detroit City Council, let me read you this story. The Detroit City Council approved a quote-unquote bullet bill gun control resolution Wednesday with a unanimous vote. The resolution limits ammunition amounts that can be bought while requiring a mental health background check on buyers of ammo in Wayne County. Commissioner Reggie "Reg" Davis of the 6th District spearheaded the resolution. As part of a proposed Wayne County bullet bill ordinance, additional county taxes would be imposed on the purchase of ammunition, with revenue going to assist victims of gun violence and education programs with a focus on conflict resolution and, oh yeah, they throw in at the end, administrative costs. Once again, when they see guns, all they can see is crime and violence. They don't see what we see. And therein lies a real problem. When I see guns, and I'm thinking about this time of year, Thanksgiving was a time when we always went hunting. It was a family hunting outing. I was thinking about a particular hunt in eastern Louisiana, right along the Mississippi River. And I was, 12, 13, something like that. Maybe this is maybe a little bit before that. But the deal was you went into camp as a youngster, in this case a young boy. I was younger, as a matter of fact. And you could call it a rite of passage. You can call it a mentoring thing. But it was for a lot of people, young people, it's the first time you get to be in a situation where you really are, to a large extent, treated as an adult. You get to see adults being adults and not, you're there, but you're doing the same things they're doing. If you're hunting, you're hunting. If you're just going along with them, you still have to behave and do the right thing. You're camping, you're in the lodge or the cabin or the tent or wherever you happen to be. And you get up early and you have to, be there on time. There's a different level of expectation. You are given responsibility. You are expected to live up to that because you're part of the group now. It is an interesting phenomenon. And if you've been there, if you've done that, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, it may be difficult for you to understand it. It may not be. It may be like, a lot of there are other rites of passage out there. But this one involves firearms and involves hunting. I remember this one, we're now at Tensas Parish. We were actually on Davis Island. It's an island in the Mississippi River. And I'm a youngster, and there's a couple other youngsters in there. And we get to run around and play in, and we're chasing armadillos and doing things. And there's this one kid, he's my age, and he's simply faster than everybody else. And he can run like the wind. And he's just, and we're, I don't know, 12, something like that. And he can just move. You go, man, that's really impressive. Well, turns out he's become a lifelong friend. Burt Jones. Yeah, that Burt Jones. LSU quarterback, Baltimore Colts quarterback, phenomenal NFL quarterback. And to his credit, I will say, Burt, the football is gone, but the hunting remains. He hunts every year. He's out there every year. I hear from him, whether it's hunting quail, horseback, or wherever it is, fishing and hunting. Actually, quick story. He when he was playing for the Baltimore Colts, he broke his neck and didn't know it. I think they played it a day or two, or a game or two rather, with a broken neck, and finally they looked at it and they said, "Yeah, well, okay, we can fix this. We can do this, and you'll lay out, a while, and then, but then you'll be able to come back and you'll be able to play." Now, the deal is, of course, if you get hit the wrong way, it could paralyze you. And Burt, to his credit, every Monday after they played their games on Sunday, NFL, he would go out duck and goose hunting on Maryland's Eastern Shore. Hunting was important to him even throughout all of his NFL career. And he talked to them. They said, "Yeah, one hit could paralyze." He said, "Yeah, I'm gone. I am gone because I have a lot of hunting and a lot of fishing I want to do." Just one of those stories that, whether it's a coming of age or a rite of passage or whatever it is, for a lot of people it involved firearms. And the first time an adult said, "Okay, here's a powerful tool that when misused could be disastrous, and we trust you. We're going to help you. We're going to keep an eye on you, but you are now old enough." And there's something in that struck a chord with millions of us. I don't know what your rite of passage was and how it worked out for you, but if you have that story, by all means, 866-TALK-GUN. In fact, when we come back, we'll be talking about kids and shooting and a new program you need to hear about.
Good morning, Mr. Gresham. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to host a radio show that will bring truth and common sense to the discussion of firearms rights in this country. Good luck, Tom, to you and your Tom Gresham's Gun Talk team.
All right, and we are back. It is that time of year when we start thinking about, guns under the Christmas tree, giving people guns for the holidays. In our family, that's how we did Christmas. Everybody got something. Could be waders, could be hunting gear. A lot of times it was a gun. And then, of course, there's just the whole idea of youngsters shooting. We talk about that a good bit, and getting people started right and getting them involved and then having an outlet. So it's kind of, where do you go? How do you do this? How does it all work? And if you are a young shooter, you're always looking for a place to go. Well, we have some help with that right now. Joining me is Jason Kelvey from the USA Clay Target League. Jason, how are you, sir?
Real good. How are you doing today?
I am excellent. I guess before we start with the new news, tell them what USA Clay Target League is.
So, we started off as a middle school, high school league. And again, my name's Jason Kelvey with the USA High School Clay Target League. We're a league that encourages young shooters to come out, grades 6 through 12. And then, as you kind of know, recently we moved into the college scene. So we're excited.
Well, and how long has this been going on, the younger groups?
So the league itself, from the middle school, high school ranks, is founded back in 2001. Okay. So we are going on our 18th year here as far as getting youth shooters involved. Yeah.
How many kids do you have involved?
So this past year we had roughly about 107 or so high school teams involved with roughly 22,000 youth shooters.
Holy cow, 22,000 young shooters. Now, which of the Clay Target games were they shooting?
So mostly it's trap shooting. In a few select states, we also offer skeet shooting, and we'll be looking to expand that here shortly as well.
Okay. So if somebody says, okay, that's a cool idea, and I'm thinking sixth grade, there are people who are going to say, well, sixth grade's way too young. But I've seen young, kids that are that young shooting trap, and they are safe beyond belief and responsible, and they're just good people.
Well, safety is number one. I mean, I think we'll all agree that safety is always number one. And in the sixth grade, that number comes in mostly from the firearm safety perspective. So I know every state's a little bit different, but this league requires you to have your firearm safety certification, and that's generally around that 11, 12-year-old age.
I see. Okay, so you have to have your like hunter safety or some kind of firearm safety credential before you can get in.
You do. Whether it's your state-issued one or the one that we offer here at the league, you absolutely have to have that to participate. Yep. Okay.
Is there a particular part of the country where you are stronger?
We're founded out of Minnesota, so we're certainly stronger in Minnesota. This past season, we had just over 11,000 students from grades 6 through 12 participate in the league. So upper Midwest is our strongest. We've got a lot of rise in some of the Midwest areas like Kansas. Wisconsin's very big. New York has really taken off. So, we're up to about 19, 20 states right now, which is good.
What's it take for somebody who says, okay, I like the idea of this, I would love to have this in our town? What's involved?
It's a real simple startup. It is a virtual league in the fact that you don't have to travel. And so the easiest way to start something up is generally if you can get 4 or 5 students to head to their school director, activities director, and just say, hey, we'd like to do this. They go there. As soon as they get the program approved, we give them everything that they need to get in the league.
Okay. It just makes it easy. And obviously you got now what is the website for not the college, because we'll get to that, but just for the Clay Target League?
It's www.usaclaytargetleague.com.
Okay, usaclaytargetleague.com. Okay, so now you've been doing that for the middle school and high school level, and now you're doing it with college kids. Tell me about this new program.
So this past fall was our first release of the college program. And, for years we've had people asking, hey, how do we carry this forward? I mean, we've had a good time doing it for the past 6-7 years. How do we move it into the college ranks? And so real simply, we opened it up to all colleges. Again, same format, same startup process. Everything's the same. Safety first as always. But, we graduate somewhere between 6,000 kids a year. They move on, and these kids are asking, hey, how can we carry this forward? So we created that opportunity for them.
Okay. So there are some colleges already that have clay target shooting teams at some level. How does this mesh in with that?
I think this will mesh in pretty well because, again, a lot of the traditional stuff you've seen with college teams is very good. It's very competitive. It's at a high level. Our league's a little bit different where it's all-inclusive. And so we want to make sure that we get a first-timer, a recreational person, everybody all the way up through the competitor ranks to compete what we call virtually, meaning, if you can compete at your own range, you can go ahead, you can come into our system, you can submit your scores online. And, kind of for us, trap shooting's trap shooting. It's not necessarily where it's different. We have to travel it to every range to compete fairly.
That's true. It's not like some ranges are harder than others. I mean, you're shooting, if they're set up correctly, you're shooting the same targets wherever you go.
Correct. Those specs are out there. I think we all know that as far as, through the NRA or the state DNRs. I mean, those specs are out there. So we try and allow people to compete virtually. Yeah, go shoot at your own range, put your scores in. And you know what? Somebody in California can certainly compete against somebody in New York. And, at the end of the day, I think it's good competition.
All right. So, how do we get this going? If somebody says, I've got a kid in college, or somebody is a student who says, hey, I'm a college student, or I'm going into college, I'd love to do this. How do we do it?
Easiest way is to go onto our website, which is the USA, again, that website I noted earlier, www.usaclaytarget.com. Get on there. It spins you 2 ways, one through the high school ranks and one through the college ranks. We have a tab on there called Start a Team Inquiry. And you go through and you just fill out the inquiry. As soon as you fill out the inquiry, you get an email sent to you with kind of a presentation that talks about how you would bring this up to your athletic director, your school, things like that. Very simple approval process. Obviously we focus on things like safety, fundamentals. It's all inclusive, boys, girls, adaptive, you name it. And then you go ahead and compete.
Talk to me a minute about what the kids get out of this. You've been doing this for like 18 years now, going on 18 years, and you've seen what happens when kids, youngsters get involved in the shooting sports. Just talk for a minute about what happens to the youngsters.
I guess the most impressive thing I've seen, like I said, and you kind of touched on, was the maturity. So, a lot of people when they're in the younger ranks, they go, I'm putting my kid in a sport, this and that. What I've seen is that these kids are very mature. I mean, we've never had a reported incident in all the years we've been doing this as far as any kind of safety infraction, things like that. So we're very proud of that. But the coaching staff, the people that are involved in this take this seriously. And so they go out there and they really want to pass on the tradition of shooting sports. Doesn't matter what the clay target sport is. You can do 5-stand sporting clays, trap, skeet, on and on and on. They do try and tie in a little bit of a hunting heritage to it, which is good. I think that's very supportive on our end as well.
Right.
But you just see these students come together. They form these friendships, these bonds. When you see these squads working together, it's just a really cool thing to know that, hey, you don't have to be in a contact sport. You don't have to be at a varsity level, whatever, to go out and have fun and enjoy shooting sports.
You don't have to be big. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to be strong, but you can compete, and you can compete at a high level if you want to. Jason, it's a wonderful program. I congratulate you on expanding it into the college world. I would encourage people to go onto the website and take a look at it. And if you're thinking about, this might be cool in my area, well, why not? Somebody's got to get it started. You could be the one. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate this.
I appreciate the time, Tom.
Absolutely. You take care. All right, 866-TALK-GUN. Is this something that, we talk about outreach. We got to get out there. Got to get in front of people. We got to change people's understanding about shooting and the shooting sports. What better way than to get the kids involved? Talk about bringing the parents along. Holy cow. Is this something you would do? 866-TALK-GUN.
Laser sights offer an immediate advantage when visibility is poor and seconds count. Laser sights can de-escalate a deadly encounter by engaging the target with a laser, enhancing your ability to protect your family, home, and country. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our laser training video, The Laser's Edge, and learn why Crimson Trace is making laser sights standard equipment.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
All the refinements in Smith & Wesson's M&P M2.0 pistol series shrunk to a perfect carry size in the new compact version. 4-inch barrel, light crisp M2.0 trigger, aggressively textured grip for enhanced control, 4 interchangeable palm swell inserts, 2 magazines, lifetime service policy, 15-round 9mm mag, 13-round 40 mag. The M&P M2.0 compact pistol. More at smith-wesson.com.
I was thinking about our last guest. We're talking about young people shooting trap skeet. It's interesting. I've been around young competitive shooters for decades. And without exception, which is an interesting thing to say, without exception, they've all been exceptionally mature. Without exception, they've all been very safety conscious. These are people you would not worry about shooting around, them picking up guns, moving around. And I mean, some of them are young. I mean young, like 12, 13. I was at the Grand American Trap Shoot a number of years ago in Sparta. And they had Scholastic Clays program there, and there are 1,000 kids shooting trap. And they're kids. They're having fun. They're goofing off when they're not on the line. But when they're on the line, they're serious and they're careful. And when they're not on the line, they're also polite. I know that sounds quaint and maybe old-fashioned, maybe old. But they are. And it's impressive. It's noteworthy, I guess, would be the thing. You don't have after-game pushing and shoving. You don't have fights. You don't have people getting in each other's faces. Maybe it's partly because they understand, hey, these things are potentially deadly. And also we're being trusted to behave like adults with very powerful tools. I don't know. I don't know what exactly the thing is, but I know that it's true. And I don't care if it's in Olympics or three-gun or trap and skeet, sporting clays, but I see it everywhere I go. I'm wondering, if you've been around youngsters who are shooting competitively, this is primarily competitive shooting, what have you seen? Give me a little bit of background on what you see out there. Let's go to the phones. Line 2, Wayne is with us out of Clyde, Texas. Hey, Wayne, what's happening?
Hey, good evening. Brief range report that you might find interesting. About a month ago, I put some clothes in the dryer, and it sounded like there was a brick in it, and it was the magazine from my Glock, full of ammo.
Yeah, no one's ever done that before, Wayne.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was kind of curious whether the ammo was any good. I retired from service, didn't want to carry it, but I got around to shooting it yesterday. It was Remington Peters plus P plus brass case 9mm, and I fired them all off, and as best I could tell, they functioned flawlessly. I did not chronograph them, but they seemed to be, at top power. And
question for you. Did you run them through the dryer as well?
Not very long.
But they did make it. So they made it all the way through the wash cycle, took the pants out, put them in the dryer, and that's where you actually started hearing the thump?
Yeah, well, when I turned it on, like I say, it sounded like there was a brick in there, and it's like, something not right here.
Yeah. Okay, so at least you didn't subject them to the heat of the dryer. That would be, not that they're going to go off in there, but it wouldn't be good for the powder. The only issue is whether the cases would leak and allow water into the case, either through the case mouth or through the primer. And if that doesn't happen, then it should be just as you discovered. They should go off and be fine. But I do applaud you. I think this is really a smart idea to pull them out of service. You're not going to bet your life on those because you really don't know what happened to them when they're going through the cycle.
Yeah, I just kind of fired them off out of curiosity to see if they'd still go off, and they did. Yep. So.
Well, that's very interesting. That's not a range report you had planned to be able to give me, but it just worked out that way, huh?
Right. Well, I figure somebody's done the same thing at some point in time, so I just thought it might be interesting.
Absolutely. Look, I appreciate that, Wayne. Thank you very much. I'm glad that worked out and everybody was safe. Where have you found ammo? Seriously. I mean, look, if you're a shooter, you know what I'm talking about. In my car, underneath the seats, in glove compartments, in consoles. Where have you found ammo where you're going, oh, wow, there it is, or there's some, or there's more of it, or brass. Oh, my gosh, brass goes everywhere. I find that stuff everywhere. 866-TALK-GUN. We're on the great brass and ammo hunt. Where have you seen it? Where have you found it? Tell me your story. You know how I was talking earlier about we got the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales going on. This one just popped up. I definitely want to pass this one along to you. This is our friends over at Blink Cameras. They've got a Black Friday, Cyber Monday thing going. And, of course, the Blink cameras, those are the ones that I've been using for quite a while now. help protect your family through the holidays. Burglary rates are up, man. People are breaking into houses like crazy. You can put Blink cameras inside or outside. They're motion activated. They'll send you an alert when they see motion, either inside or outside. You can look at video with it. You can look at live video with it. You can even check the temperature when you're away. It's pretty cool. They got high-definition video clips. The live feed option lets you check and monitor your home, your pets, package deliveries. Well, man, going to be getting a lot of those. And when they come drop off a package in front of your house, which the UPS guys just kind of almost just slow down when they go by my house and throw it out. They'll ring the doorbell, but you can never get to the door in time. They're gone. They're just running. It's crazy. But anyway, you can see all of that. You get the notifications, and you'll be able to see the video. They've got they call it the Blink Behemoth Black Friday Cyber Monday event. You got to go to blinkprotect.com/holiday. Now listen up. blinkprotect.com/holiday. Or you can go to Amazon.com and you search for Blink Security. Blink is an Amazon company. Cool cameras, getting them at a good price is an even better thing. Philip's on line 1 out of Harriet, Arkansas. Philip, what is this deal? You used to work at a crime lab?
Yes, sir. Back in the 80s, I worked for the state crime lab in Little Rock.
Okay.
And part of my job was to not only transport deceased people to the morgue, but the weapons, the evidence. And I can tell you that in the 2 years I was a part of that, it was very rare that we ever collected a firearm and had been legally purchased. The guns that killed the people that I had to go investigate, those guns were bought illegally or stolen or mail ordered. They were not purchased the way I have to purchase a gun today. And I really believe the issue is the people behind the gun have got to be in the right mind and legally able to have the weapon.
It's an interesting.
They might be gone.
Yeah, it's an interesting observation. It's okay. They're generally speaking, the criminals don't get their guns the same way we do. They get them. They steal them. People, please don't leave your guns in your cars. That is a great way for criminals to get guns, and they're stealing guns out of cars like crazy. Do not leave your guns in your cars. If you got to go in overnight, take it with you. Or maybe even get a vault, something to put in your car to keep them from getting the guns. But Philip, it's a great observation. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you for your call. Very interesting. And he mentioned, some people are crazy, but remember, some people are just bad, and you can't tell who they are. We just had a shooting in a mall last week, and my friend Dave Spalding put something online. Says, just a reminder, bad things happen to good people in normally safe places. Think about that. Bad things happen to good people in what you would normally think of as a safe place. Happens all the time. Happens every single day. So what is your takeaway? How do you change? I know you do. You know you do. How do you change your behavior during the holiday season? What do you do differently when you're in parking lots? What do you do differently when you're in a mall or you're shopping somewhere? What do you look at? What do you listen to? How do you talk to your family? What do you tell your family about this holiday season and about possible increased risk? Just wonder. Give me a holler, 866-TALK-GUN. Also, when we come back, I want to talk to you about a cool new gun. It's pretty neat. We'll be talking about the details of it. And, we're going to give one away.